This week in Pro Moto, the chase for the #1 plate in 250 gets even tighter. And we talk to a first-time overall winner. Show you 2 Moto America races that were decided by less than a second. And take you to South Dakota for a half mile of fast. ATV MX is wrapped, but who took the title? That and more only on the Racer X Show. Hello and thanks for checking out the Racer X Show. I'm Greg. We have all of that stuff that you just saw. Plus, we're going to show you who's representing the U.S. at the Motocross the Nations this year and how you can win a 450. We've got a lot to do, so let's get going.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acherubi's Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
First up, the motocross segment presented by Acherubi's with the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship back in action at Unadilla. The big chatter is, of course, the 4-point gap in the 250 title chase. It's close between Red Bull KTM's Marvin Musquin and Yamalube Star Racing Yamaha's Jeremy Martin. But who would have it when it all shook out? Well, here's Jason Wygant and Grant Langston with the story.
Rolling hills and green pasture lands of upstate New York are the host site of round 10 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by MA Pro Racing and the Red Bull Unadilla National. Great start for Joey Savacci in the 37. Grabs the motorsport.com whole shot. Marvin Musquin in third. Innocent
that was
crash.
A silly mistake, though. He had nowhere to go. Slides out, and then it just made it a little more difficult because he was ahead of the well, not Cooper Webb, sorry. He had mud on there. It looked like a 1. Webb just lost the front end, gone on that drop off cam. He's stuck under the bike, asking for help.
Finished the moto in 18th. He was unhurt, but it took a while to get up. Jeremy Martin, late in the race, finally catches Savacci, makes the move, gets to the inside over a series of jumps, and from there he would take off. Savacci would close back in at the end because he was under pressure from his teammate Aldridge and Marvin Musquin. Here they all come across the line. His 8th moto win of the year for Martin, so he and Musquin are now tied in that category. They're darn close in pretty much every statistical breakdown. Joey Savacci led a long way in this one, but Marvin Musquin, battling for the title, gets desperate. Great move on the inside, made it happen when he needed to, and puts the Red Bull KTM into the lead. Then Savacci, under pressure, gets passed by Cooper Webb. Webb goes after Musquin for the lead, but then goes down with a lap and a half to go. Savacci moves back up to second. A pair of second-place finishes on the day is enough for Savacci to win the overall, while Musquin wins the moto. Musquin was 4th in the first race, so he just gets edged out for that overall win. But if you're Musquin, just getting that moto win and max points in that race alone. Plessinger, nice job for 3rd, and J-Mart didn't see much of him. Started about 13th, was able to climb up to 5th. Only a 2-point lead with 2 rounds to go. Wow. Martin and Musquin going to take it right down to our finale in Indiana. And good job. Savacci's overall win pushes him back ahead of Zach Osborne for 3rd in the series standings. What did not happen today? We saw everything. Great start for Justin Brayton on the BTOsports.com KTM. But watch Christophe Porcel. Down in the middle. Head over heels goes Ken Roczen, and 2 of the favorites today are knocked from contention. Roczen was hurting when he got up. He managed to climb to 16th at the end of this race. Porcel was 23rd, so they rode it out. Great effort, but it will not show in the results.
When it's not your year, it's not your year, right?
So now Brayton under pressure early from Dungey, and this is a beautiful move by your series leader. Nice underneath the 10, and that was really it. Dungey, once he had the lead, no one saw him. Checked out over Justin Barcia and takes the moto win. Trey Canard would outduel Justin Bogle and Sean Simpson to take 3rd. Sean Simpson, what a ride. 4th place in his first ever race in the U.S. Good job by the Scot. Freddie Noren, 5th, also a good ride for him. We mentioned Roczen, 16th. That's 5 championship points trying to keep the slim hopes he had still alive. Dean Wilson, 11th. 5 overall wins for Dungey this year out of 10 rounds. That's a heck of a season. Here's your Lucas Oil race recap. Justin Bogle on the 19, making his debut on a 450cc machine, grabs your motorsport.com whole shot. So that's a good way to start it.
Yeah, it was a great way to start it. Unfortunately, he was not able to sustain being up front due to a crash. But see the riders filing through on the opening lap. Dungey grabs the lead. Bogle still in a great position in second. You see Barsha, Porcel, and everyone trying to challenge from behind. But then right here, watching number 19 on the red bike. Bogle comes out of this turn, gets a little cross-rider when he lands. Watch bike twitch, and then boom, boom, slams the ground. And he would exit this race probably a little winded.
Ken Roczen got up to second, put heat on Dungey for 30 minutes, and Dungey didn't put a wheel wrong and just managed to hold him off. The final margin of victory, 1.6 seconds. That's some close competition, and the fans definitely liked it out here as we add another classic to the Unadilla history book. Here are your results from our second moto. And Justin Barsha, fourth, will be enough for second overall. Because Roczen had the bad first moto today, he loses ground to Barsha in the championship. They were actually tied for second coming in. Off day for Blake Baggett, a pair of bad starts, but he's still up in fourth.
Catch the Pro Motocross Series live on MAV TV for the first motos, 3 p.m. East on that. And then on NBC SN, a slight delay for the second motos, 11 p.m. East is the starting time. Come on, it's Saturday night. You can stay up and watch. Priorities, people. Well, that 250 battle sure was close, and hats off to first-time overall winner Joey Savacci, who joins us now from his training facility in Florida. Welcome to the show, Joey. How are you?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. So, Joey, congratulations. Your first overall in Pro Motocross just 3 days ago. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, a little bit. It's nothing really changes for me during the week. I still come back on Sundays and hang out on Sunday, and then go back to the farm and ride Monday, Tuesday, and normally Thursday, but obviously this week's a little bit different. I fly out Wednesday. We have press day in Salt Lake on Thursday, so nothing changes. We come back and continue to do the same things that we've been doing all year, and hopefully continue the streak of good riding.
Let's talk Mitch Payton. You've said how much he's behind you and believes in you. Can you give us more insight into that?
Yeah, no, Mitch believes in me 100%. Probably sometimes he believes in me more than I do when we go through phases. But, I mean, I stay at his house every time I go to California and eat dinner with him almost every night. And we have a lot of heart-to-hearts. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's the boss. But at the same time, he's one of the few people in my group that truly believes that we can win and has believed in me since the beginning. And he'll tell you, like he tells me, that's the reason he hired me. He wouldn't have hired me in the beginning if he didn't think that I had the ability, or he didn't think it was possible for me to win. So to have him behind me and to continue to support me is great. And like I said in the interview, to ride for Pro Circuit has really been a dream, is a kind of a dream ride for me since I was little. That's one person I've always wanted to ride for. So when I got the call for Mitch himself, it was kind of like one of those deals where I had other offers on the table, but once I got the call from him, it was like those other offers really even weren't worth it anymore to me, because I had gotten the call that I had really wanted my whole life. So when that came through and all the pieces lined up, it was a no-brainer for me.
All right, Joey, thanks for joining us here on the Racer X Show. Good luck this weekend at Miller, and we'll see you on Friday.
Perfect, man. Thank you for having me.
On Saturday at Unadilla, the 3-rider lineup for Team USA was announced for the 2015 FIM Motocross of Nations, in preparation for the country's quest to claim a historic 23rd victory. Leading the way will be Autotrader.com Toyota Yamaha's Justin Barsha, along with a very fast, very determined Yamalube Star Racing Yamaha duo of Jeremy Martin and Cooper Webb. Team USA jumps into action on September 26th and 7th in Ernie, France. But how would you like to win a brand new 2015 450 4-stroker of your choice? Yep, you pick it, a Honda, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, KTM, Suzuki, or Yamaha. And all the proceeds go towards funding the Asterix Mobile Medical Center. How? Head to wina450.com and purchase all the raffle tickets your heart desires. Do it before August 21st. The winner will be picked August 22nd at the 2015 Bud Light Ironman National in Crawfordsville, Indiana. The winner does not need to be present to claim their prize. What are you waiting for? Get your tickets now at wina450.com and help support the Asterix Mobile Medical Center today. And that is our motocross segment, brought to you by Acherbys. All right, now it's time for our road race segment presented by Yoshimura, and we'll start with the American Superbike Championship known as Moto America. They were in support of MotoGP this weekend, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, Moto America's Superbike class rolled in all tied up between teammates on the Monster Energy Graves Yamahas, number 1 Josh Hayes, number 6 Cameron Beaubier. But when it was all over, one clear leader emerged. Beaubier was your pole sitter with Yoshimura Suzuki's Roger Hayden wedged between the teammates, as Hayden made good use of his front row start to jump out to an early lead. When the race settled down, it would turn into Hayden versus Beaubier, with Hayes lingering back in third. Late in the race, Beaubier sized up Hayden's Suzuki and skillfully made the draft and pass move. The onboard is sweet. On the final run to the flag, Hayden couldn't return the favor, with Beaubier taking max points for this one. Jake Lewis in with a solid 4th, and how about Elena Myers, also Suzuki mounted, 5th from the former Daytona Sport Bike race winner. The next day, same grid and go, but with a threat of rain. No doubt the Yosh Superbike is dialed in for the starts, as the advantage goes to the 95. But once again, Beaubier would use the draft and pass to go to P1, but this time, Hayden had some answers. But Hayes was closing in as well. However, debris flags flying as rain is starting to come down. And that lap, the 6 and the 95 were close at the line. That would prove pivotal, because even with Hayes close and passing Hayden, the red flag came out, stopping all the race action, reverting back to the last lap completed. Cam wins by a whisker. Lewis again for 4th, with Chris Ulrich on the Geico Suzuki. He rolls off a solid 5th place finish. But up top, this is what it looks like, 18 points now. That might be a tough margin to overcome for Hayes, even though the final round heads to New Jersey, where Hayes has been the man for years. Time for a MotoGP update from Indy in what shaped up to be 2 great races. Movistar Yamaha's Jorge Lorenzo battled it out with Repsol Honda's Marc Marquez. The pair would go deep into the race until Marquez finally made his move and won by just over half a second. Marquez now has 7 wins in America. He's never lost. His teammate Danny Pedrosa challenged Valentino Rossi, passed him but made a mistake. Rossi held off Pedrosa to capture another podium finish and only lose a couple of points in the championship to his teammate Lorenzo. 9 now the margin heading into next week's race in the Czech Republic. That is so exciting, right, Chad Reed? Like I said, MotoGP heads to Brno in the Czech Republic. Fox Sports 1 has the coverage. Sunday the 16th at 7:30 a.m. East. Moto America's 1-hour highlight show from Indy airs on CBS Sports Network at 10:30 a.m. East, Saturday the 15th. Check that out. And that is our road race segment presented by Yoshimura. We now move on to the AMA Pro Flat Track, where last Tuesday night, the most talented dirt track riders in the world took to the half mile of Black Hills Speedway to race in front of a large crowd. Most were there for the infamous Sturgis motorcycle rally. And one storyline kept coming up. This deep in the season and leading the championship winless, can Rogers Racing Jared Mees get off the schneid and get one? Well, boom, and we go racing. And from second on the grid, Mees was able to grab the hole shot. And that would be all she wrote. Number 2 Zanardi Racing Harley Davidson's Kenny Coolbeth had been the dominant rider until the GNC1 main. And he closed the gap on Mees several times throughout the race, but never could mount anything serious. The most intense battle was for third, with Briar Bauman coming away with his second third-place finish in 2015. But hats off to Mees, who gets number 1 of 15.
That start saved me, and the motorcycle ran so good, and it felt so good to get that first win. It's just so good.
With the win, Mees extends his lead in the Harley-Davidson GNC1 presented by Vance & Hines point standings, and now 18 over Crosley Radio Kawasaki's Brian Smith. AMA Pro Flat Track on fanschoice.tv this weekend, around 6 hours of coverage from Peoria, beginning at 5 p.m. East. Fire up that computer and get to the watching. Well, our first summer racing series is all wrapped up, and I'm sad to say it's the 2015 Mountain Dew ATV Motocross National Championship. And it came down to the wire on Saturday as the legendary Loretta Lynn's Ranch played host. Just 15 points separated the top 2 riders. Wienen Motorsports Yamaha's Chad Wienen going for a record-breaking 4th consecutive title, and Hetrick Racing Corrosion Specialty Honda's Joel Hetrick. As for their season-long battle, well, it all came down to the final checkered flag. Before the race, if you thought Joel Hetrick was nervous, he sure didn't show it, as he once again grabbed the ATVRiders.com top qualifier for the 9th time this season. But racing is racing. And when the first moto got underway, Hetrick kept the momentum rolling by grabbing the SSI decals hole shot for the 11th time this season. But Wienen was right in the mix, quickly putting himself into second ahead of Maxxis H&M Motorsport Honda's David Hagsma Jr. With his solid points-paying position in hand and Hetrick putting on a torrid pace, it would stay like this all the way to the end. And in the end, Hetrick took his 11th moto win by 5.591 seconds ahead of Wienen, now only a 12-point advantage. With those 12 points in hand, the three-time champ needed to finish 8th or better if Hetrick went on to record the 1-1 sweep. A surprise out of the gate as Team BTF Honda's Joe Bird grabbed the hole shot just ahead of Root River Racing Honda's Josh Upperman. Upperman would assume the top spot before the completion of the opening lap, with Wienen making a charge into second and Hagsma Jr. third. Hetrick, however, had his work cut out for him, beginning the moto in 5th, which forced him to chase down Wienen. Wienen put even more pressure on Hetrick by taking the top spot away from Upperman. Hetrick responded by moving up a position, but then he stalled it. That would drop him down to 8th. That incident ended Hetrick's title hopes as Wienen continued to add to his advantage over the field. Hetrick would recover for a podium position, but the man who won out the season with a moto win and the overall, Chad Wienen. Confirmation of the final ATV MX race, Brown landed on the overall podium for the 8th time with a hard-fought 3rd place finish going 3-2. But a record-breaking 4th consecutive national championship for Chad Wienen.
Man, I just made some quick passes on a couple guys, and then we had Upperman out front, and man, he's keeping a good pace. I set a couple better lines and made the move on him and pulled a quick gap right away, and man, it's just so awesome. Finish out the year with a win, and here at Loretta's to wrap up the championship 4th straight, and this year we reached our goal, but we're going to enjoy this one, and so happy. Thank you.
Wienen finished 2015 with a 17-point edge over Hetrick in the final standings, while Brown rounded out the top 3, 56 back from the number 1 plate. I cannot wait to see what next year brings. This weekend on MAV TV, you can catch the half-hour show from Round 8 at Spring Creek ATV National, August 15th, 10:30 a.m. on the east side, 7:30 a.m. for you folks next to the Pacific Ocean. Get out of the house and get to a race. Pro Motocross heads west to Salt Lake City for the penultimate round of the championship, Miller Motorsports Park. Come out and see if Ryan Dungey can wrap it up early. AMA Pro Flat Track races at the famed Peoria TT in Illinois. A jumpin' stuff, so much fun to watch. And MotoGP is at Brno in the Czech Republic. Share that fun with over 120,000 fans on Sunday for that one.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Cherubies, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
Okay, we're wrapping things up today. We'd like to extend our congratulations to a few racers. JD Beach in Moto America wrapped up the Super Sport title. We'll talk to him next week. And Caleb Russell, he won his first of a possible 3 championships. We'll have the highlights from that next week as well. If you like the show, feel free to share it with everyone. I should have a good signal at Miller on Friday, and I'm going to do some Periscope stuff from the Pro Motocross paddock on Periscope, so you can follow me on Twitter to check that out. It's at Greg White. Well, for the fine crew here at the Racer X Show and Racer TV, thank you so much for watching. And remember, folks, we are all racing all the time.